Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I am planning to put up my Halloween tree. So I'm going to start by laying everything out on a table and setting up the tree, and then I'm gonna kind of see what I want to start with first. I'm kind of thinking maybe the ribbon might go first. That way I can kind of just arrange like all the ornaments that I have around it. So let's get started on doing some Halloween decorating, and I'm going to take you guys through the whole process of everything. This is my first time putting up a Halloween tree, so I'm super excited. Yeah, let's do some Halloween decorating. So first I'm starting off by taking the tree out of the box. This is the first time I've used this tree. I just got it earlier this year. So just taking all the pieces out and gonna start putting it together, attaching the first part to the base, then adding the other two sections. I was having a little trouble stabilizing the base of the tree, so I enlisted some help from my boyfriend because it was just kind of like wobbly and crooked. So he helped me kind of stabilize that a little bit more. And then I just started adding the other two pieces to the tree, connecting them all, and then connecting all the lights. And then just started by fluffing out the tree, making it look, well, more like a tree. So I started with the top of the tree and then kind of worked my way down. I had my boyfriend connect the lights for me, and then this tree has, it said it had 8 modes, so it has like a warm white, a brighter white, it has like Christmassy colors, and then it kind of has Halloween colors as well. Then it has like a bunch of different modes where it'll flash or kind of gradient kind of blend into each other in a way. And then I just asked him to help me fluff out the tree. So we're just fluffing the tree out as best as we can to make it look nice and full, and try to fill in a lot of those gaps that you can see by just fluffing it out as much as possible. Also, my dog was really interested in the tree. He's a 6-month-old puppy, so he was just very interested in what we were doing. This part didn't take too long. I would say maybe like 30 minutes or so from taking it out of the box and fluffing it out. So it wasn't too bad, but definitely takes a while. And then I had set up this little table, that way I could lay all the ornaments that I have out on the table. That way it'd just be kind of like easier to see what I have and what I wanted to put on first, sort of thing. So I'm just laying everything out, from my ornaments to my tree picks and tree skirt and these larger ornaments that I have. And then I have like a bunch of things that aren't really technically ornaments, like this little book box and some metal signs. So just everything flat on the table. I have these little potion bottles, and I just figured this would make things a lot easier to see than just kind of rummaging through the box. And it was helpful throughout setting the tree up. So this is everything I have laid out on the table. A lot of it's still in the packaging, so I'll just be taking that out of the packaging kind of as I go. So I'm starting with putting the ribbon on the tree first. That way I can kind of just arrange the ornaments a little bit around that. And it's my first time doing ribbon, so there's like a lot of mixed reviews online of whether you should put it on first or afterwards. So I just opted in for putting it on first. That way it would also be a little bit easier for me. So what I am doing, I saw a YouTube video online, and basically you just take an end and kind of wrap it around a stem, and then you kind of just keep doing that throughout. And then you just kind of make the little ribbon shaped the way you want. It is a wired ribbon, so it has a lot of like flexibility and moldability. So it was not too hard. Honestly, I was expecting this to be the hardest part, but once I started doing it, it was pretty easy. So I'm just wrapping the ribbon all around the tree, kind of filling in some of the gaps where there's too much space between the ribbon. And I decided to do it in a diagonal because I figured it would look better that way than just going up and down. So I finished doing all the ribbon, and I ended up only using 1.5 packs of ribbon, and I had 3 packs of them, and I believe each pack was 10 yards. So I didn't want to go too overboard with the ribbon and put too much because, like I said, I do have a lot of ornaments and a lot of bigger ornaments. And here's a little close-up of the ribbons. It has spider webs all over it. Now I'm just trying to figure out where would be best to put this large ornament. I kind of wanted it to be front and center. This was one of the large ornaments that I got from Michael's, and I just figured putting the large ones first would be a good idea. That way I can kind of just arrange all the smaller ornaments around the large pieces that I'm adding to the tree. So I put the skull one down in the corner, and then I'm adding this little "Not All Witches Live in Salem" metal sign to the front, kind of more bottom center of the tree. And I'm just kind of using the little branches to make a little kind of like shelf for it to sit on. And then I grabbed some branches from like the side and the top, that way it could kind of lean sideways a little bit. I'm putting this little witch's spellbook box towards the top of the tree, and I'm kind of just stuffing it in there, and kind of like the last one, made a little shelf and kind of secured it that way, tightening the branches around it. And then I put the little potion bottle randomly sitting in there as well. And then I decided to go with the skeleton hands, and those I just kind of put some branches through in between the fingers of them, and they stayed pretty securely that way. So I did one on the side, one on the top, and kind of just placing them randomly. I'm not decorating the back of the tree since it's going to be against the wall. So I'm just adding all of these and using that same method of putting some branches in between the fingers. And then I'm going to hang this one little random ornament. It's a little heart with skeletons in there. And then I just kind of sped this part up because we're just adding a ton of little ornaments. So I will do a little close-up towards the end of the video, but there's little bats, ghosties, pumpkins. I have a couple of glittery ball ornaments in black and white. I have some orange ones with spider webs, and my dog and my boyfriend were both helping me. They were both very helpful throughout all of this. There was a pack of ornaments in my Dollar Tree stuff that had ornaments that were shaped like pumpkins, and there was no hole or anything for me to kind of thread some string through them to hang them. So I was a little bit stumped, and my boyfriend was able to drill some holes in them. That way we could hang them like traditional ornaments. And then I'm just adding these little pumpkin pegs towards the top of the tree because they were kind of falling like down when I was putting them more towards like the top, middle, and lower from where they are. So I just opted to put them at the top. Then I had to move a few things around on the side of the tree here where I'm adding these little crafty witch's brooms, and kind of just like I've done with everything, I kind of weaved them into the tree and also used some branches wrapped around them to secure them in place. I was going to use zip ties, but then I realized that the branches wrapped around them kept them pretty secure. And now I'm just trying to figure out where to move this little potion bottle, because the potion bottle was over there where I added those little decorative brooms. Just trying to secure that little potion bottle. It was starting to lean a little bit, so I had to mess with the branches a little bit. And here is a close-up of everything on the tree. I have a ton. I tried to go for a little witchy Halloween theme for the tree, so there's minimal orange, there's a lot of black, some pops of white, and yeah, my favorites, I have a lot of favorites, but I really like the witch sign, the Salem witch sign, the little spell book. I love those little ghosty ornaments that I painted, the tarot card reading sign as well. And I have these little witch hats and brooms that came in a set. Also some of my favorites. I also wanted to put the little doggy ornament, doggy in a ghost costume ornament in the front of the tree because I wanted it to be visible, and it's my boyfriend and I's first year owning a dog, so I was excited for that. Then we're testing out the lights over here because I realized I didn't have the lights on when I did those close-ups, and then this way you can see all the variations of colors the tree does with all the ornaments on there. We both really like the warm white, the way it looks, and then there's also a version, this version, where it's kind of Halloween-y. It's like a light purple, there's some green and warm white. And then it also does like a lot of this flashing in a couple different speeds and stuff. Not really my thing, it's a little much. But it's cool that it has all these different options. And then I also did add the witch hat at the top of the tree as a tree topper. I'm going to have to mess with that a little bit more because it's just not looking the way I thought it would look. So I don't know if I have to get a different witch hat or if I just need to stuff it. So I may try a few different things. We set up the tree in the middle of the living room just to kind of make things easier, but we're going to slide it back to the corner where it's going to stay. So I'm hoping that none of this stuff that's kind of just placed in there falls over while we do that. Alright, so I just finished setting up my Halloween tree. It took about 3-4 hours to do. The ribbon took quite a long time. It was my first time setting up a ribbon on a tree, but I think that it turned out pretty good. It is a wired ribbon, so it was pretty easy to kind of like shape in a little curve like that. I also just watched a YouTube video and I was able to do it pretty quickly. I mean, like I said, it was my first time, so I didn't think it was going to turn out pretty good, but I thought it turned out pretty decent. I do have a lot of items, like just random little signs put in here and some big ornaments. And then at the top, I'm probably going to need your guys' opinion I do have these like little orange picks, and I don't know if I should keep them or if I should take them out. Let me know in the comments down below, because I'm not quite sure how I feel about them. And then I just put this witch hat on top as a little tree topper, but I think I need to stuff it because it kind of keeps like falling over. So yeah, I might need to stuff it with something inside, and maybe like a piece of foam or something so I can like stick it on the top of the tree as a tree topper. Still kind of iffy about, yeah, the orange picks and the hat. Not quite sure about it yet. But yeah, as far as the technique for the ribbon, I pretty much just pinched the end of the ribbon, stuck it in pretty far deep into the tree, that way you can't really see it, and then twisted the branch around it and the ribbon, because it's wired. They're pretty secured on here, and yeah, I can just mold it to however I need to. And I ended up getting 3 packages of ribbon. I believe each package had 10 yards, and I only used like a package and like a half or so. So I think that was pretty good. I didn't want to overdo it with the ribbon just because I knew I had a lot of ornaments. I just wanted the ribbon to be visible, but not like too overloaded on the tree, if that makes sense. But I think some of my favorites are like the witch's book, this little witch sign, the little potion bottle, and these ghosties I hand painted. I got these little wooden ornaments from Dollar Tree. I just painted them white, and then I mixed some black and white to create a black gradient with a sponge, and then I outlined the bottom of them and painted some stars. And then I also got those black bats and just painted them black. And then these ones I also got from Dollar Tree, the little kitty cats, and just painted them black and painted white stars. Everything I sealed with a satin, clear satin spray paint. So, and then I also got these from Dollar Tree as well, the little pumpkins. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but they're kind of lighter in the middle and darker around the edges. Also did like a little spray effect on those. My boyfriend was helping me out with the tree, so these ornaments that I got from Dollar Tree that are like little pumpkins, and they came in a pack of 5, and they had like 2 black, 1 white, like just regular ornaments like these. And then these ones didn't have any holes to hang them like an ornament, so thank goodness that he came up with the idea to drill a hole in them. I don't know if you can tell, but we drilled a hole on the top, and then we were able to feed some string in there to hang them like ornaments, which I thought was weird that they were in a pack of ornaments and then there was like no way to hang them. So at least you can kind of DIY that and turn them into ornaments, because he definitely saved the day with that. Another one of my favorite items is this tarot card reading sign that I got from Shein, and I also really love those little crafty witches brooms I got from Craft Outlet. Also, some of my other favorites are these big chunky ornaments that I got from Michael's. Really love that Halloween candy one, and then this heart one with the skeleton on it. I wish I would have gotten more of those because I really like how they make the tree look. And then another one of my favorites that I also wish I would have gotten more of are these skeleton hands. I think they just look really cool placed in the tree randomly like this. And yeah, I'm just going to give you guys a little close-up of everything. I really like these witch brooms. They came in a pack with the little witches hats. I did have to attach some string so I could hang them as ornaments. And then they also came in a pack with these little witches hats, which I also had to put a hole on top of the hat. That way I could hang them as ornaments. These little orange spiderweb ornaments are pretty cool from the Dollar Tree. And then I love the little heart skeleton ornament. That one was from Shein. And these little pumpkin picks also from Dollar Tree. Also did get a pack of 6 of these crows and kind of just laid them on the edge of a branch. They did come with some wire on the feet, so I just tried to wrap that around the branch. Some of them are a little bit wonky and leaning, but for the most part you can just kind of play with it and they will stay. And then I also got this little dog ornament in a ghosty costume holding a pumpkin trick-or-treat pail from Michael's. And love the Salem sign and the poison bottle I got from Dollar Tree. I believe it was last year. And then there's just a bunch of my hand-painted ornaments in there. The little spellbook box and these orange picks, which I'm not too sure about, so let me know down in the comments if you guys think they look good with the witch hat and the pumpkin picks, or if I should just kind of ditch those all together. Right now I took the witch's hat off because it kept falling off, so I need to put something in there to stabilize it, whether I like stuff it with something. Gonna have to kind of mess around with that and see what would work. Yeah, here's another crow that is falling over, so I'm trying to fix it. I think it was when I added those little witch's brooms, they got kind of twisted. But there's nothing in the back because, like I said, it's going to be going against the wall, so there was no point to put anything in the back and just kind of go hard on the front and the sides of the tree. So these are also some of my favorite ornaments that I made. I got these mini cauldrons from Shein, and then these little bone beads and skull beads from the floral section in Michael's. I believe they're called vase filler beads. But what I did was fill the inside of the cauldrons with insulating spray foam. I did see this in another YouTube video, and had to let those dry. There was no airflow, which would have probably been better if I poked a hole on the bottom of the cauldron. That way they could have dried quicker because they took quite a few days to dry. And then what I did was cut the top off and kind of shaped it. And then I painted them with black acrylic paint. I would probably recommend doing a black spray paint because it took forever to dry. And then once the paint was dry, I glued those little beads on with E6000 glue. I believe that's what it's called. But they seem to be pretty sturdy. They've fallen over a few times because they were top heavy and the beads fell off. So they're pretty cool. They're also glow in the dark. So yeah, I really like how these turned out. So after we slid the tree back into the corner that it's going to be placed in, I did add the little spider web tree skirt, and it honestly looks a lot better than I thought. I was a little skeptical because I ordered it off Temu, but I think it looks pretty good. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed decorating with me. I can't wait to do some more Halloween decorating. I'm still planning to decorate the dining room, and I got some pretty cool stuff for it, so I'm excited to put that out as well. We're kind of still in the middle of doing some paint by numbers on the dining room table, so I might wait like a couple weeks to put that out. But for the most part, I really wanted to get this out, and I really wanted to put up my Spooky Town, which was in one of the previous videos. So again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all, And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe, and please leave a comment and let me know what I should do about these, if you guys think I should keep them or not. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your week. Bye.